Showdown time. Hello everyone, welcome to the Nate Jackson Criterion Collection Showdown. In this corner, a bunch of friggin' Criterion Collection movies. And in the same corner, a bunch more friggin' Criterion Collection movies. And then in another corner, a couple more. So here we are. This is I call it a showdown, but it's more or less just my top 28 from the first 100. I want to do this for every like kind of final thing I'll do to end the season off. Just my opinions, just the 28 that I've chosen that I dig the most. So yeah, and I picked 28 because that's my lucky number. So and that gives you a lot of room for to wiggle and pick just 28. I mean, if you can't pick a top 10, it would be impossible for me. Although I have a top 10 now. I rated them all. I had to rate them all for this. And it wasn't easy. The first way I went around doing it was I took each 10, and then I rated the 10, 1 through 10, I rated those. And then I took 11 through 20 and rated those, 21 through 30 and rated those. And I figured, okay, so I'll just pick, the first 3 from each 10, and then just knock off 2. But that didn't work out because some of them, some of the 10s, some of the 1 through 10, 21 through 30, 31 through 40, there aren't as many good movies as there are through, I say, 41 through 50, So yeah, there was a little bit of different, a little bit of it had to change the rules a little bit, but anyway. That's beside the point. I just wanted to give you a little insight on how I was going to do this, or how I did it, and how I came up. And then basically it was just saying, okay, which one, just trying to really solidify my thought points. Like, which would I rather watch, or which one would I rather watch, and which one has something a little more to it. It was kind of a 50-50 between those two. And yeah, so here we are, top 28. Let's do this. Here we go. What are the 39 steps? Then Mr. Memory's like, game over, man, game over! As he just stands there, and all the guys in the balcony have the gun, and he just starts to slow 39 steps. As they go, and he blows it. Anyway, yeah, Alfred Hitchcock's 39 Steps. Man, this one, it loses you in a couple places, but in the end, it's a great story. A little bit of romance. Hitchcock really did a great job at this one, with an ending that just becomes totally clever and entertaining. And yeah, this is a great movie. I mean, and also this one is also I'm loving this one just for the supplement. This one is another one with the supplements, kind of knock it out the park too, but more so, the movie, the acting is great, and the ending, knocked it out. So Hitchcock's 39 Steps. If we learned anything from this one, it's not to joyride when you're riding back to your girl after you deliver nitroglycerin, because you will crash your car and kill yourself. Wages of Fear, number 27 on my list. And after seeing Diabolique, man, I was hyped up for this one, and it really didn't disappoint. Man, this one was just the dramatics keep you in suspense. The story with his girl, back home, and just the idea that they have to be extra special careful and delivering this stuff and the things they have to go through. And of course, as I have already revealed, the ending, which will just destroy you inside. What a great movie. Wages of Fear, number 27. Poor Piggy. Poor Piggy. Lord of the Flies is number 26 on my list. After reading the book back in high school, I was kind of anxious to see this movie after such a long time reading it, and the dramatics really hit you with this one. Definitely one of the most really captivating opening title sequences I've ever seen. with the pretty much giving you the background of the movie in the title sequence with a really trippy like sound collage of like relevant sounds like the school songs and the evidence, the sounds of the plane crashing and all that. It's really trippy. And then of course the boys, just watching these boys go primitive so quickly is an amazing thing. I mean, 1963, yeah. I mean, 1963, yeah, but still, even they're boys, they're young kids, you know. It's still amazing, and they fit all of it into 90 minutes too. Lord of the Flies deserves a place on everyone's shelf. Number 26. Variety Lights, pretend I'm holding a DVD. This is one I couldn't get the DVD for. I couldn't get it last time when I watched it, and I couldn't get it for this one, so anyway. But yeah, Variety Lights, Fellini, you know. Number 20 is number 25 on our list. And this one, I like this one because it's funny, it's got a great story, and the wonderfully beautiful Giulietta Messina is in it. If there's any reason for you to see this movie, just watch it for her. I mean, don't worry about the girl who comes in and gets her dress ripped off. They take your clothes off. Forget that. It's Messina you want to see. I mean, she's only sadly in about half the film. I think she's only about half the film, but still, it's great to see her. She's a wonderful actress, and she makes her part come alive. And so for that, I'm giving Variety Lights the number 25 spot. There, I got to do my Kanye West joke that I was going to do originally. Good morning! Number 24 on our list. Man, this one's bizarrely hilarious. This one's great. It's the two kids with the trying to get a television by doing the silent treatment, and the kid just, and of course, you know, fart jokes, kids pushing their foreheads, you know. How can you go wrong? It's brilliant. It's lovely. It's Good Morning. Oh man, what a hilarious joke. I mean, the spot about, so I'm still a little confused about the whole stole the money from the club to get the washing machine thing, or the subplot. But the kids are hilarious enough for this in this one that you gotta check it out. So number 24 is Good Morning. Seven Samurai. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The other one I couldn't get the DVD for, sadly. I was gonna buy it from the sale, but I kind of ran out of money and all that. But I would have had it for here. But next time, Seven Samurai. Now, there's no reason why I shouldn't have Seven Samurai. There's no reason why anyone shouldn't have Seven Samurai on any top Criterion list. I mean, I think it's one of the most popular Criterion films of all time. And as mentioned in my wrap-up, that's why they put it so close to the beginning, because they knew that they wanted it. They probably wanted that in the collection, like, more than anything. But I think personally for me, it helped bring me to a place where I could love Kurosawa. I mean, if you had to pick a Kurosawa film, it would be Seven Samurai. I mean, I think to put it to introduce someone to Kurosawa, and since then, I've every movie I've seen with him, I've just kind of really, really dug, and I've really paid more attention. I think I've paid more attention to his films than any other director, because when I see his name, I know that there's something in it that I'm gonna like, or that's really gonna get me. And so Seven Samurai, I mean, what can you expect? I mean, it's not just Seven Samurai, it's Toshiro Mifune. I mean, him as the renegade samurai, the one who's just kind of the drunken samurai, if you will. He just, his performance, of course, is hilarious, and also just awesome too. And it's a huge epic, and I remember when I saw it, I thought, I'm just finally got Criterion at that point. So yeah, I knew I had to have a place for it on the list, and here it is, Seven Samurai. Nothing but the music. All about the music. Or at least that line, at least. Number 22, The Red Shoes. Oh boy, what a trip this was. It's a bit long, but I mean, like I said, that dance sequence, a little long for my taste, but the dialogue and the story, just what a trip, and of course that ending, and the ending just scare the hell out of you. Powell and Pressburger, I've spoken highly about them. These guys are slowly becoming another favorite director, favorite directors, I guess. So, yeah, what can you say? And of course, the beautiful Moira Shearer, wonderful dancer, and actually can act a little. How about that? So, yeah, number 22 is The Red Shoes. Dance like you mean it. If that were the actual subtitle, then I think this movie, I probably wouldn't have made it number 22. It would be like 23, but anyway. Red Shoes. Cabiria! Knights of Cabiria, number 21. Oh, my woman. My Italian wife, Giulietta Messina. I mean, talk about a fireball. Talk about a fireball. Cabiria as a character. Messina just totally exploded this character. I mean, anybody would have probably just read the lines. I mean, he could have just read the lines and just said, okay, I'll just do this here and do this here. But no, Cabiria, Messina had other plans for Cabiria. That's probably why Fellini picked her to do it, because it's a trip. I mean, it's sad. I mean, it's a sad story in the end, but I mean, the one thing even though it is very sad, at least Cabiria's beauty shines in every scene, and I think a lot of that is because of Messina as the character. I don't think anybody could have pulled that off, as better than her. So, yeah, that's why I got to give it to Messina. Call me, girl. Number 21, Knights of Cabiria. Don't let the first 10 seconds of this movie fool you. It'll kick you. The soundtrack will kick you in the ass. Number 20, Black Orpheus. Oh boy. I was like, the first one, like I said, I was just like, okay, all right, let's see where this goes. And then those drums kicking, and I'm like, oh god. Oh, it's gonna be one of those films where I'm just sitting through it, man. Oh man, what a beautiful soundtrack. I mean, it's funky, it's bossa nova, just all kinds of goodness in this one. And and it tells the story and it's a pretty cool retelling of Orpheus and a little more modern, modern telling, with Hades being the hospital and all that. It's a trip. It's really trip, and the cable cars and all that. And yeah, you got to give it for the music. I mean, the music, the actors, actresses, everything is really beautiful. The scenery, and it's freaking Brazil too. I mean, it's freaking Rio. Gosh, everything about this movie is beautiful. So there you go. Number 20 is Black Orpheus. Number 19, Taste of Cherry, or the look at me driving for 10 minutes or for a whole hour looking for somebody to kill me or bury me. Look at me driving like this. I'm actually gonna conduct the whole rest of the review like this. So yeah, this one, it's a trip. Or I guess I gotta look at the camera. I mean, I went into this. I mean, first of all, it's a pretty short movie, but at the same time, it's slow, but the tension just keeps you there, because once you figure out what's going on, you're kind of curious as to how it's going to end. And most of the time I need an ending, so but in this instance, when I got to the end, I wasn't as concerned. It's like, I'm like, in other movies like La Ventura, with a really open-ended, it's just like, I think part of it is because of the fact that that movie was so long, and so when it got to the end, I was like, what, you know? But in this one, I think part of it is because the story is a lot more interesting. It's just like, you know, when you get to the end and he's just laying there, it's like you kind of just don't care as much. You're not as concerned. It's like, okay, they got to it. I mean, the whole thing about them showing the filming at the end is a little weird, a little bit of a throw off. But you know, before that, it's a movie. It's a great movie, you know, and that's why I gotta give it to it. It's slow. It's really get you thinking. You know, you gotta think about this one a little bit, but in the end, give it up for Taste of Cherry, number 19. Taste of Cherry. The most epic sword fight ever. Number 18 is Sanjuro. Kurosawa does it again. Yojimbo, you know, it introduces you to our star. But Sanjuro just gets you. Gets you all the way through from the beginning, where he just steps onto the scene and he's just there and he really just wants to, you know, show you what he's about, you know, or remind you what he's about. Actually, he showed you what he's about in Yojimbo. But Sanjuro, he's like, I'm gonna remind you, and I'm gonna remind you tenfold. So, and of course, and like I mentioned, the last 30 seconds, the last like 2 minutes of the film, they pull their hands out of their sleeves and stand there for, feels like an eternity. And but then you notice things. You notice like the way the dress, like their dresses move, or their dress moves in the wind, and then you know it's coming. It's just like, oh boy, wow! And then he just steps up. I mean, see you later. Just walks away. Sanjuro, ladies and gentlemen, Sanjuro. Un, cero, 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 cero. Yeah, or libido. Number 17. What a trippy story. It's funny, it's musical, it's got all kinds of stuff. Translation a little weird, but you know, it's the first 100 of Criterion, you know. They weren't gonna try and make all the lines rhyme. Not like a, you know, magic flute or something like that, you know. But you know, I think it was more of it helps tell the story. And it's a hilarious story about the guy who goes every which way but loose to try and get a lottery ticket, even going as far as to play an imaginary football game, which is probably the quintessential hilarious. You know, when Renee Claire overdubs the football sounds when they're behind the stage. Oh God, that had me busting up laughing because it's totally unexpected. I mean, you see them playing and you think, okay, you know, they're supposed to be football players, but then he overdubs the sound as if it's supposed to be like it's like a Riff Tracks commentary or something like that, and it's just freaking hilarious. Le Million. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I can't believe at one point Ben Affleck wasn't a douche. Number 16, Chasing Amy. I really didn't think I was going to like this as much, but there's some really good acting and really great monologues from Kevin Smith. I mean, from his crazy head, you know. I don't know how he thought of this stuff. I mean, I think the two really pivotal scenes in the movie are, of course, when, you know, Holden confesses his love for Alyssa, and of course when Alyssa just totally comes back at him after he finds out the the origin of her nickname. Yeah, it's just those are the kind of monologues that stay with you. I mean, just you might not know every word, but the emotion when you think of Chasing Amy, you think, oh god, those two scenes, oh man, and your heart just feels like it just levitates and it just falls and just floats around, just gets knocked around with this movie. And of course Jay and Silent Bob are friggin' hilarious. What can you say? Number 16 is Chasing Amy. We got that one. This is number 15. Jimmy Cliff, The Harder They Come. Perry Hansel is the director, man. See, I can't do the accent well enough that you need subtitles for it, the way they do in this movie. But yeah, anyway, I mean, Jimmy Cliff, kind of familiar with Jimmy Cliff, but this one just like totally said, whoa, that's Jimmy Cliff. Who the hell is Bob Marley? Jimmy Cliff. Man, I mean, music, you can get it if you really want it, which I didn't know wasn't his. I always thought it was him. I always actually kind of associated the song with him anyway. But then there's that, and The Harder They Come, Many Rivers to Cross. Oh god, I can't. That song is a tearjerker. Yeah, I mean, apart from that, the story is just a trip and a half. He wants to be a record musician. He wants to be a musician. He wants to get a record out there, but at the same time, he starts. The only way he knows how is doing crime. It's kind of a very tragic story, but at the same time, the music keeps you there. And Jimmy Cliff's acting is spectacular. Number 15, The Harder They Come. Astronaut Report, it feels good. And it looks good, too. Number 14, For All Mankind. Man, this was, I kind of a little favoritism to this one because I recognized some Orb samples. Yeah, this movie was sampled by the Orb for their first album in a number of places. If you remember the movie, the review I had, Supernova at the end of the backside of the moon playing through the whole thing. But that's because of this movie. But apart from that, I mean, Eno's soundtrack is gorgeous. And it's great to see just all this really rare footage that you never thought would have existed. It feels like this whole movie is a supplement, for like this huge event, And so that's why this movie just deserves a place. And it's beautiful, and it feels like you're there on the moon yourself with music, with gorgeous synthesized music. Because that's the only way you can be on the moon, even with the whole screw the whole, there's no sound in space. There's Brian Eno's synthesizer music playing in space. Number 14, For All Mankind. And number 13 is Written on the Wind. One of the most dramatic movies you'll see. I mean, definitely the most dramatic English movie from I would say, in this one. I mean, just really just kills you with this one. Just punch, punch, punch. And not just, friggin' Lauren Bacall getting knocked out, But, man, what a trip. I mean, Rock Hudson, I haven't seen too much of Rock Hudson's acting before this one, but, it's definitely seals the part for whatever role he's got, And it's all four of the star actors in this one really carry each part individually. Just they really bring it all home toward the end. With an ending that just, like I said, they bring it on home, and they really knock this one out. So, Written on the Wind, gotta see it at least once. Number 13. Number 12, Brazil. Wow. This movie is still quite possibly the most one of those. It's pretty much like the greatest 1984 movie that isn't 1984. And I just, every time I look at it, I think about the ending, and it just scares you. It scares you just as much as the ending to 1984 does. And you didn't think that you really wouldn't have thought Terry Gilliam, from all his time in Monty Python and Time Bandits, just totally, and Jabberwocky at that, you know. Suddenly Brazil comes along and just kicks you in the motherfucking balls. Number 12, Brazil. Number 11, The Third Man. Apart from it being just one of the most epic storylines of all time, I mean, I can't really describe this one too well. So, you know, Mr. Wells, why don't you give us the honor?
Well, what the fella said. In Italy, for 30 years under the Borgias, they had warfare, terror, murder, and bloodshed, but they produced Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and the Renaissance. In Switzerland, they had brotherly love. They had 500 years of democracy and peace, and what did that produce? The cuckoo clock. So long, Holly.
Man! Just pimp walk out of there. Get out of there, Mr. Lime. Just get on out of there. Number 11, The Third Man. I don't think I need to tell you why this one is number 10. Do I? Anyway. Number 10, Black Narcissus. Powell and Pressburger. Oh boy, 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 oh boy. And Kathleen Byron. I mean, even when she looked like the daughter of the devil, she's still kind of cute. Just goes straight from none to just sex. And putting on lipstick has never been more masturbational. Yes, we've created a word now. Masturbational. Yes. But apart from that, of course, like I said, I mean, Deborah Kerr is also awesome as well. And it's a beautiful movie, but what do you expect from these guys? What do you expect? Seriously. It needs to be in your top 10. I mean, it's erotic, it's beautiful, it's scary, it's dramatic, there's even a little bit of humor in it too. How about that? It's everything you'd ever want for in a movie, and everything you get. Number 10, Black Narcissus. Fishing with John out on the water, fishing with John. That should be the whole thing, but now I'll say a little bit more. I've never seen a TV show so bizarrely, boringly funny. More just like unintentional, maybe unintentional. Well, some of it's intentional, but a lot of it is just unintentional. It's just all the space, all the just silence. It's freaking hilarious. And, you know, as a bonus feature, John Lurie's an actual, you know, John Lurie in the Lounge lived his big heart. It's a great video, great song. And, you know, what do you say? I mean, it's great to see, you know, William Dafoe and Matt Dillon and Dennis Hopper just all having fun. You know, all these weird places. Learning how to do rain dances or fish dances and almost losing their lives to wolves and stuff like that. And all kinds of crazy shit happening in this. In 6 bizarrely weird episodes. Fishing with John. You gotta check it out. Number 9. And this is number 8, Sherrod, Cary Grant, Audrey Hepburn. Not the Criterion edition, but, you know, anyway. But at least I got a DVD to show you. Man, what? I seriously did not think this movie would be as funny as it was. But it's hilarious. It's friggin' hilarious. Cary Grant just knocks it out with the orange scene and, you know, the shower scene. Audrey, and, you know, the chemistry he has with Audrey Hepburn is hilarious. And of course, there's this. It's Cary Grant, you know. and just a lovely story. A lovely story, a dramatic story, and it's just once you get it, you got it, and you'll never forget it. Number 8 is Charade. Even I missed the opportunity to make this one number 11, but I couldn't because it's better than this one. Actually goes less than 11, if you'll admit that. Anyway, number 7. This is Spinal Tap. Oh man, I knew from the start that this would be in the top 10 because I love a great comedy, and I love music and I love a great comedy, and when you put them together, you got a slam bang of a movie, and here it is. This is Spinal Tap. I mean, it's a classic. I mean, what can you say? I mean, Stonehenge, learning how to sing a harmony at Elvis's grave. I mean, it's just, there's so many classic scenes. The idea that, Rob Reiner as the director, going around filming them and interviewing them and having to put up with all the Spinal Tap shit. It's a classic. It's a really freaking classic. And Criterion, and while this isn't the Criterion edition, sadly, but Criterion deserves all the points, all the sex for putting this into their collection. Number 7, this is Spinal Tap. Speaking of comedies, we have number 6, Monty Python's Life of Brian. Another one that I knew had to be in my top 10 because I've seen it so many times. I just didn't know where it was going to go, but here it is at number 6. What can you say? I mean, it's just an epic. It's an epic movie. It holds no punches, just like Monty Python. Especially with the topic of Christianity in this instance. It's one of the most controversial comedies ever made. And all the more reason for Criterion to put it in. Oh my God, controversy! Let's put it in. But I hope that's not the only reason why they put it in, because they know it as a really hilarious movie. And and honestly, I'd actually give them a few more points if I found out that one of the reasons why they put this into the movie is because of Nicholas, or Romane Doma. People call Romas, they go the house. Says Romans go homes. No, it doesn't. I'm done butchering Python. Number 6, Monty Python's Life of Brian. It's movies like this one that make you fall in love with the Criterion Collection. Number 5, Diabolique. One of the scariest, creepiest movies. Definitely one of the creepiest French movies ever. With the most suspenseful 30 minutes, the last 30 minutes of any movie I've seen. Well, one of the most suspenseful movies. And with an ending that just, I'm not gonna say it. I don't remember if I said it in my other review, but you gotta see it. You must see it once. It'll shock you. It'll shock you! And I'm so happy to have this one in my collection because it's a trip and a half. I hope all my friends who are watching this, please go out and see this one. It's a trip. It's a real trip. You will love it. Number 5 goes to Diabolique. And this is the kind of movie that makes you want to marry the Criterion Collection. Number 4, High and Low, or Tengoku to Jingoku, as I'm reading from the back of the thing. I don't think I've ever read the back of the Japanese title. Number 4, man. So far, this is Kurosawa's masterpiece. It's a thriller, and a lot of this, it's kind of a slow-paced movie, but you wonder, how is it going to end? And when you get to those last 10 minutes, just go and just tear your heart out. Oh man, It's just when that last interrogation scene just it's a killer thriller. There's so much emotion in those last 10 minutes, and it's like, I mean, this could have been number 100, and I could have been like just thinking, okay, it's like this is the last one, and this has been the season finale, last one I'll do. And from those last 10 minutes, it would have shot up to number 4 like that. Oh boy. I mean, I'd say both Diabolique and High and Low. These are two films that I think really solidified my getting into this, as more of a full-time thing. High and Low. It's number 4. Amazing movie. Yeah, I did it. Number 3, The Bank Dick. I seriously didn't think that W.C. Fields was, that great of an actor until I saw this. And, my whole opinion of him went 360 because I knew him from his stuff on the radio. I didn't, I knew he did some films. I knew he did film stuff, but once you see him, it's like, whoa, suddenly it just totally makes sense. I mean, it's a hilarious movie. Shemp Howard's in it. If you need a boost, put a Stooge in your movie, and that'll totally bring your movie up a couple points on my list. It's got a hilarious chase scene at the end, and W.C. Fields has some great dialogue, such as the scene with the $20 bill, where he talks about if he was afraid he had lost the $20 bill. I just totally ruined that line for you, but words can't, I can't, replicate it. You'll have to see it for yourself if you can find this one, sadly. But yeah, anyway, what can you say? It's W.C. Fields. It's a classic. It's number 3, The Bank Dick. Hey, ladies, get funky. By this point, you're just like, it's predictable by this point. If you've seen the reviews, you pretty much know what's going to happen. And remember, this is my opinion. I had to give number 2 to the Beastie Boys video anthology. I mean, it's the friggin' Beastie Boys. It's the friggin' Beastie Boys, and it's the friggin' Beastie Boys. Oh, and did I mention it's the friggin' Beastie Boys? And it's packed, and I mean packed full of stuff. I mean, think about how long it took me to get the review up for this one. It's epic. And some of their film, I mean, of course, the cover, they had to do. The cover's based on Sabotage, but, that makes sense because that's probably their most epic of all their videos. And apart from that, they're just one of the greatest rap groups of all time. And it shows that Criterion, I think another reason why is because it shows that Criterion is just, is like, they're willing to kind of step back from all the pretentiousness of some of their other films, and just like the pretentious way of thinking sometimes, like, picking certain films are just like, oh my god, this is so artsy, oh my god, and just kind of look back and just have some fun, and I think the Beastie Boys are more fun than like, artsy fartsy, definitely their music is way fun, and I mean, to have a music video collection of any band in the Criterion Collection is an accomplishment. I think it's amazing. I mean, and they just happen to pick the Beastie Boys, There you go. And so that's why number 2 is the Beastie Boys video anthology. Hey ladies, get funky. Cowbell, cowbell, cowbell. Really? Really? Do I really have to, like, you can't guess? I mean, think about think about all the others. Think about what I've been talking about. Think about all the other reviews. Now think about what's left. Seriously, I want you to just think about what's left. Or rather, you can just look at it yourself. My favorite Criterion Collection DVD in the first 100 is W.C. Fields' 6 short films. Why? Because it's fucking hilarious. All 6 of these films are fucking hilarious. The Pool Sharks. I mean, it's a silent film, yes. It's a little weirdly paced, but it's got some great stop action gags. Golf Specialist. The scene with the kid, the hilarious scene with Fields and the kid, and the caddy, and him trying to hit the ball and impress the girl. The Pharmacist is another hilarious one. With him trying to take the phone call during the shootout. The Fatal Glass of Beer, oh god, that might be my favorite. Because of the ain't a fit night out for man or beast. Just throwing or I'll do it like this. Ain't a fit night out for man or beast. There we go. That looks a little better. And of course the hilarious other song. It was not really fun. I'm in the night and singing. None of the words rhyme. Barbershop with the hilarious steam room gags and all that. And then of course, the sexiest moment in the whole Criterion Collection, the first 100. Sexier than The Night Porter, sexier than Unbearable Lightness of Being, and almost sexier, just about sexier than, the lipstick scene from Black Narcissus. The dentist. That friggin' scene where he pulls her up onto her crotch and she wraps her legs around him and she puts his foot in his coat and get you down. It's hilarious, and it's preceded by one of the greatest lines. You ever had this tooth pulled before? Dead. This is that part on Facebook where you put the word just dead. And ladies and gentlemen, there you are. Here's where we throw the party favors. Man, what a ride it's been. I hope that you've enjoyed this, of course, and I hope that you enjoy my opinion, my opinions of my movies, the movies that I chose. I know, of course, I'm sure none of you will agree with me. I'm a little biased toward comedies, I know, but at the same time, I'm sure you've got, that's the idea. If you were the same as me, I would be kind of afraid because, I'd like to think that my opinion was pretty freaking different from everybody in the world, and that's what makes us all really unique individuals, is that you probably don't agree with me, and that's okay. I just wanted to tell you what my top 28 were. And here they are. This has been the Showdown. And this is the season, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so very much for joining me. I mean, when I started, like I said, when I started this, I didn't think I'd be doing it for a whole another year. It's been over a year since I did my first review. And here I am at the end of a season. And yeah, like I said, I'm gonna do this as seasons. It's gonna take about 7 years to get through all of these. Maybe 8, probably 8. Because probably by the end of next year, Criterion will be in the 800s, or probably by season 3. The end of season 3 will be at the end be in the 800s. So yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. Thank you again so much for watching. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments, and I'll be happy to reply. I get emails, from the YouTube comments and all that. So I'll be back then. But apart from that, this is it. I'm taking a break. I'm going on Criterion, a vacation from Criterion, a Criterion-free month or two. Yeah, like I said, I will be back. I want to keep this going. I know Cries and Whispers is the next one. Definitely be a trip to come back to. Friggin' Ingmar Bergman. But yeah, I'll be back probably late December. Not December, September. No, I can't wait till December. Oh no. Start in the fall. And yeah, it'll probably be a late December, early, maybe October 1st, maybe. Maybe I'll have almost give myself 2 whole months to work on other things. I'll be working on music. For those of you who know, I recorded under the name The Point of Realization. I've got a Bandcamp. Check out my Facebook, facebook.com/TPORmusic. Well, actually, no, the Facebook is facebook.com/The Point of Realization. The Bandcamp is, I think, TPORmusic. One or the other. Mix and match the URLs as you wish. That's if you want to find out what I'm doing when I'm not criterion. Criterioning. There you go. We'll use that word. And yeah, that's it. I gotta end this here. I've learned so much from doing this, and I can't wait to learn more. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in about 2 months for number 101, Cries and Whispers. And until then, it's been a trip. It's been a Criterion trip. Thank you.